Hi everyone! I decided to make a video to show you guys what I did over the weekend, which was mostly repotting things and finding spaces for the plants that I had already bought. But we're getting right into it. This is me repotting the variegated willow standard that I had bought. I didn't put it in a new pot at all since I bought it. You can see it in the back there, and this is me trying to fit it in, and I overestimated how much bigger this one would be. I bought the biggest pot I could before going up to the huge sizes, which wouldn't have fit on the balcony. And you can see the roots are already coming out of the bottom here, so I definitely need to repot this and give it at least a little bit of extra space. So I think that will be really nice for it and help it to grow better and maybe overwinter better too. I've got this mycorrhizal stuff. It's basically fungus powder that they told me to sprinkle in, and it will help the roots grow, so that's what I'm doing there. And I've got it right to the top, so it's not a lot of extra space, but I definitely think it will help. And now I'm just putting in soil and shoving it into the edges, and I make a huge mess, which is how I like to do things. I like to make a huge mess and then clean it up afterwards. It's how I work best. So you can see that here. I'm also putting on some water, and generally I use water from my aquarium because it's free extra water for my water changes. It's good for the plants as well because it doesn't have chlorine in it. And I'm also putting in a layer of mulch, because if I've learned anything from last year is that plants on the balcony dry out super fast. So anything I can do to help me water a little bit less is worth it. So that's why I'm putting mulch this year. And I also decided to put my lily of the valleys here under the tree because, lily of the valley is generally found in the woods. So I thought, wouldn't it be so cute to put it under my tree? It's also the perfect place lighting wise, because lily of the valley doesn't want a lot of light. So this is a good corner to be putting it in. And if it gets flowers, I'm not thinking that it will get flowers this year. I think we're past the time for it to be doing that. But if it does get flowers now or next year, then it will match the leaves on the willow standard because they have some white on them as well. So I think it will look really cute here. So that's why I decided to shove them in there. So here's just a shot of them at the bottom underneath a tree, and I think it looks really cute. And you can see some of the white leaves starting to come out of that standard. I also wanted to show you this. I'm repotting my petunia night sky, which I love. I think it's so pretty, the purple with the white spots. And then initially I had this idea of putting it in the middle with some draping things on the side. So I have the sweet potato vines. I thought maybe that would look nice. I have one dark one light one on the side, or maybe I could have the same color on each side but have the different leaf type with the creeping Jenny. So here I'm just trying that out. But in the end, I was thinking I wanted to take a look at the sweet potato vine roots just to see how much room it was taking up. You can see it's already taking up quite a bit of room in there in that little pot. And I just really like this sweet petunia it's just a petunia, I guess. I like it so much, and I want it to be as big as possible. So I was thinking maybe I'll either only have this petunia in this box, or I'll just have some creeping Jenny just on the sides, because I don't think it will take up as much room with the roots. So I decided to do that. I'll just put these in the sides, and it probably won't take up a lot of room, and the petunia can have lots of room to grow. And here I'm just checking if I can make 2 plants out of one, because then I can have one on each side. So I was just looking at the stems, and you can see there that I pulled one out and it has some roots. So it already had roots of its own, so I felt comfortable splitting it, and now I have two, one for each side. So I'm just roughing up the roots of the petunia here and just plopping it right in there. And I think that will give it some good space to grow nice and big. This petunia is also the strongest smelling flower on my balcony right now. I'm actually not a huge fan of flower scents, which is kind of funny because I'm very into plants and very into flowers, but I actually don't particularly enjoy the scent of most flowers. But this one is small enough that you don't smell it too much, and I don't mind because I like to look at the flowers so much that the smell doesn't even bother me. And you can see my water is green. I'm fighting a bit of an algae problem in my aquarium, but I don't think it will harm the plants out here. And of course I can't forget the mulch. I am really wanting to mulch everything. At some point last year, I was watering things every single day. I mean, it did get quite hot, but I would like to avoid that as much as possible. I get a lot of water from my aquariums, but not that much. So I'm trying to conserve water a little bit by using it for my aquarium, but also by putting mulch so I don't have to water it as much as I did last year. I also wanted to show you my quote-unquote window boxes. These ones just hang off the shelf. I've got the pansies in the middle, like you can see, and they're doing pretty well, I would say. And I want to plant some plants on the side. So this is a picture of last year. I had yellow pansies in the middle and alyssum on the sides, and I thought that looked great. So this year I have a sort of purpley pink one instead of the white one, and I want to put that on the sides because I think it will match really well with the pansies. And I'm just adding a little bit more soil because we do get quite strong winds that blow away a lot of the soil. So I do have to add a bit more, but then these are the seeds, and the seeds are quite small, as you can see here. So initially I was going to do one by one, but then I thought, you know what, I'll just sprinkle it because they're so small. And I did this last year. I dropped some seeds just in one of my pots, and they grew really well. They grew just fine as long as they had enough water and enough sun. So here you can see me putting in water, but these plants really need a lot of water is what I learned. I'm used to indoor house plants, which I only water once a week, but outside I find even if the soil is moist, because it's so hot, they need extra water. So I'm going to really make sure to put a lot of water in there. Oh, and I wanted to show you this other one. This window box is like right beside the other one. So this pansy plant is only about 2 feet away from the other one. And look at, I don't know if you can tell, but this one has way more flowers. It's much poofier and fluffier than the other one. So it's crazy how much of a difference just a little bit of distance can make. You never know how much light, I mean, I guess you could measure it, but it's hard to tell sometimes. And you can see that here because last time I told you that I moved my fern to the bottom, and look, it's growing new leaves, and the leaves are looking quite nice because I'll try to show you again. There's a leaf in the middle that was coming out that was just black, like burnt to a crisp in there, and it wasn't even getting direct, I think I was getting direct sun for like an hour, and I guess that was too much. It was too hot up there, so I put it down here underneath, and it gets basically no light under here, maybe a tiny little bit scattered throughout, and it's liking that much more with the new leaves. So I'm keeping it down there. And up here I've put my hellebore in that spot to see how it does over there. And you can see I put the sweet potato vine, so the green one is in that pot and the darker purplish one is in that pot. And so we'll see how that goes and have it draped down. Oh, and my hosta hasn't come back yet, which is super sad. And I am putting mulch into this pot too. Like I said, I will be mulching everything this year. So here it is. Here's what it's looking like right now for the top shelf at least. And I want to thank you guys for watching, because that's it for this weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye.